Hello and welcome to the show. Today we have for review the delightful F-35 Bravo. Wait a minute, it's B, not Bravo, right? For previous viewers, probably they already knows the story behind it, but for the new viewers out there, well, to make a long story short, feel free to revisit my previous video on the F-35C. And uh, you know why I'm calling it this after watching that video. Anyway, that was a side note. This particular F 35 from the VX 23, or better knowing the Salty Dogs, off of the HMS Queen Elizabeth. So, to give you guys a clear picture about this particular aircraft, the F 35B serial number BF-05, it's a development test aircraft operated by the VX-23. It is a U.S. Navy test unit, and the BF-05 has been used in various testing phases, including those involving the USS Wasp and the USS America, and it made its first landing and a takeoff on the deck of the HMS Queen Elizabeth in 2018. Also, the BF-05 was involved in various testing phases, including the developmental test phase 2 onboard USS Wasp and a TD-3 and operational testing on the USS America. And VX-23, the U.S. Navy Fighter Test Center, has used BF-05 for its evaluations. The BF-05 was piloted by Commander Nathan Gray during its first landing and takeoff from the HMS Queen Elizabeth, which was back in 2018. So, and later this aircraft became a Marine variant, obviously. Now, we can focus on the main point of discussion, which is about the Lockheed Martin F 35 Bravo, or the JSF program, or Joint Strike Fighter? Well, I think we've talked about this before. This was already addressed in my previous reviews. Let's begin, shall we? So, today we're talking about the F 35B, which is the most expensive and the most complex fighter ever designed by Lockheed Martin. The Bravo version. I call this aircraft a technological marvel. Folks, have faith in me. It's true, but despite all the stealth characteristics, so the stealth aspect is not just one piece of the puzzle itself. Beyond these, other characteristics are present. However, I'm not trying to critique this aircraft because you may notice I'm a big fan of the F 35, but some engineers claim that the F 35 is jack of all trades and master of none. Well, the initial results were at the very least promising, but it turned out to be positive outcomes. That being said, the initial phase process saw a bottlenecks, but ultimately the aircraft performed well. The primary bottlenecks of the F-35B related to its maintenance and logistics, specifically the Automated Logistics Information System, or better known the ALIS, and spare parts availability. The ALIS has been plagued by excessive connectivity requirements and faulty diagnosis, leading to slow repair times and shortage of spare parts. Additionally, the F 35B's internal payload and fuel capacity are also limited due to its unique design, which is the STOVL capabilities. Well, the F 35B STOVL capabilities, including the lifting fan, well, reducing internal space and fuel capacity compared to other F 35 variants, which is the A Alpha and the C Charlie. This limits its overall range and a payload capacity. Well, the benefits of the STOVL, capabilities, the the F-35B is the only fifth generation fighter with the short takeoff and vertical landing. This aircraft can basically takes off and land like a helicopter, can hover, um, which making it ideal for operating from smaller decks and austere bases and ships without full length runways. The F 35B is the first supersonic STOVL aircraft and flown by both the U.S. Marine Corps and the United Kingdom, and also the Italian Air Force. The B version, or the STOVL variant, is the world's most advanced fighter aircraft. Speaking about the speed with the max payload, it can reach speeds of Mach 1.6 or 1.5 while carrying a full internal payload, demonstrating impressive performance in combat and operational scenarios. And speaking about the stealth characteristics, stealth design of the F 35 Bravo features unmatched stealth capabilities, including radar absorbing materials, also aligned edges, and internal weapon bay, making it nearly invisible to enemy radar. It's well equipped with advanced sensor suite. Its onboard sensors creating an integrated battlefield picture, allowing pilots to detect and track and neutralize threats before being detected themselves. Integrated operations, also, the F 35B serves as a force multiplier, seamlessly sharing data with ground forces. such as naval vessels and other aircraft, including uncrewed assets, basically to provide a complete operational picture. Um, the other thing is pilot centric technology. The F-35B's helmet's mounted display system projects crucial mission data directly into the pilot's visor, including targets information, flight data, and night vision. Multi-mission capability, and it excels in a range of missions from air superiority and close air support to intelligence and surveillance and reconnaissance, and also the electronic warfare. The other aspect is a flexible deployment. Thanks to its STOVL capability, the F 35B is deployed by the U.S. Marine Corps, as I've mentioned, and the UK Royal Navy and the Royal Air Force as well, and other international allies, enabling the operations from aircraft carriers such as assault ships and remote airfields, and to making it combat proving. The F 35B has been successfully employed in real world operations, demonstrating its game changing capabilities and reliability in changing environments. It's basically when things change, war scenarios change, this aircraft can challenge any environments according to the analysis. Uh, Speaking about the modernization ready, it's this aircraft is built for the future with ongoing software and hardware upgrades, and ensuring that it stays ahead of the evolving threats from next gen air defenses to adversary aircraft. These features makes the F-35B a game changer for modern military operations, providing unmatched versatility and capability. The other important aspect is the which is very important aspect here. Here we're going to talk about the economic considerations. Well, here's the problem. The F 35 program is one of the most expensive military programs in history. While uh, 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 the prominents argue that it saves money over the long term by replacing multiple aircraft types and other airframes. But on the other hand, critics suggest that the cost of the program and its maintenance outweighs the benefits. Not quite sure if that's ever be proven to be true, but anyways, the F-35 program, it is the most expensive weapons project in the Department of Defense history, with a total cost of over 1 trillion, and that's with a T. That's a lot of money, right? Which is, the results of the Joint Strike Fighter, or the JSF program that, originated in the early 1990s. Pardon me, folks. The program pitted Lockheed Martin X-35 against the Boeing X-32. Has become a boondoggle with escalating programs costs. We're talking here numerous glitches and delays. Nearly 14 years after Lockheed Martin was awarded the JSF contract over Boeing, the F 35 has yet to reach initial operational capability, or the better known the IOC operational capabilities, with so much negativity surrounding the long gestation period of the F 35. Um, Also, the other issue is the American taxpayers won't be too delighted to hear that the recent findings show that the America's fifth generation multi role fighter can't even, um, based on some theories here, can't even hang with a plane that was designed to replace the F 16 Viper. which was originally designed in the early 1970s. The F 16 is probably best known to 80s generations for its starring role in 1986 Flick Iron Eagle, which that was basically my generation. But the aircraft is known in military circles for its excellent in maneuverability, relatively low production costs, and overall competent performance platform, which had made it as a popular aircraft for export to ally nations. So according to DAVEX, analysis. However, the F-16 maneuverability that has caused the biggest headache for its successor in the mock air battle, according to an unclassified brief obtained by Dave X, the single seat F 35A was simply outclassed by the two seat Block 40 F 16D. So, coming back to the F 35, speaking about the F 35, as we all know, there are three distinct variants of the F 35 are designed to replace aircraft are currently in service with the U.S. military. The F 35A is a conventional airframe that is currently used by the United States Air Force. And supposedly will replace both the F 16 Viper and the A 10 Warhawk. Well, I don't know, because given the amount of battle damage that the A 10 can sustain while still allowing the pilot to make a safe return to base, I mean, the A 10 designed for a high survivability, and I don't know how much debate will go towards that subject. But anyways, the F-35A ability to fill this role is a spacious at best. The F-35B is the short takeoff and a vertical landing, or the STOVL or VTOL variant of the airframe, and will replace the Harriers and the FA-18 Hornets, which is used by the United States Marine Corps. Then we have the F-35C with its larger wings area and tailhook, robust landing gear, will replace the Navy's FA-18 Hornets and will serve also as a complement to the Super Hornets fleets. And in the areas where the F-35 comes up short compared to its predecessors, the U.S. military is counting on this aircraft, the stealth, to the level of playing field, or in the most cases, giving the aircraft the advantage. For example, the F 35 is designed to use stealth to evade enemy radar, identify enemy aircraft from long range, and engage them using, shall we say, lethal action from a standoff distance, according to the Lockheed Martin. However, as the U.S. learned some lessons during the Vietnam conflict with the F 4 Phantom II, the ability to engage targets from a long distance with the missiles should not be, pushed to the determinant of all-out maneuverability. So the F-35 is a very accurate platform. It is an expensive, stealthy fighter to keep in the sky, but it is considered a success due to its technological advancements. Um, we have operational capabilities here and a global demand. One of the revolutions about the F 35 is the sensor fusion technology and electronic warfare support. It is also, pardon me, folks. It is also the first fighter to integrate an all scene helmet display with the distributed aperture system. The other technological aspects, the F-35B's helmet mounted display system, HMDS, is cutting edge technology that provides pilots with the unprecedented situational awareness and tactical capabilities. So, uh, this aircraft basically has, shall we say, tactical impunity. It projects crucial mission data, including flight information, such as target data, and also night vision imagery directly into the pilot's visor, effectively replacing the traditional heads up display. And I think that makes sense. Also, the HMDS also features a distributed aperture system, or better knowing the DAS, that basically allows pilots to see through the aircraft, enhancing their ability to navigate and engage targets. And pilots can target weapons by simply looking at the target and designating it, which is really nice, just like a video game. With assistance from onboard sensors and data links, the DAS uses infrared cameras to provide a 360-degree view, if I'm not mistaken, allowing pilots to see around the aircraft and through obstacles. And the helmet tracks the pilot's also head movements, enabling the system to project information precisely where the pilot is looking. For all intended purposes, to provide the most accurate and reliable information available, enabling the pilots to make informed decisions. And also, latest news. Currently, the Marine Corps is they're trying to reshaping its fighter fleets, and here's what we need to know. The Marine Corps has recently unveiled significant upgrade to its aviation strategy, basically focusing on the mix of the F-35 Lightning's variants. Originally, the Marine Corps is, as we all know, it's pretty heavy when it comes on the F-35B, which that, because it has a short takeoff and landing. Now, originally, the Marine Corps is going to buy, I believe, if memory serves, 300 and some number, 350 or 350 something aircraft of these aircrafts. But now, here's what happened. They've downgraded that number to 280 F-35Bs. Conversely, the Marine Corps has said now they're going to buy the F-35C instead, which is the variant. So what they did, they bumped that number from 67 F-35Cs to 140. Now, overall, these adjustments don't change the end strength of the F-35. The Marine, which is has total 420 aircraft. So why is the shift? Well, probably for a couple of reasons. One of them is the enhanced carrier operations. Obviously, the F-35C seamlessly integrates with a Navy and their carrier strike group. We're talking here with the F-35C, some extra capabilities basically can increase the combat range as well as the payload. As a result, it can handle a variety of scenarios. Now, this implementation will bump the F-35 squadron for the Marines. I'm sure the Marine Corps has the robust presence across the globe, and also ensuring their aviation assets are cutting edge and ready to mix into the fight. So, folks, uh, uh, let's briefly discuss the F-35, some of its unique characteristics, which is the VTOL system and its functionality. And how it works. I know some of you out there wondering. First of all, the F-35B, powered by Pratt Whitney or PW F-135 engine that delivers more than 40,000 pounds of thrust. It's a very unique engine, guys, on this aircraft, unlike the other platforms out there. But anyways, the F-35 fighter jet, how swivel nozzle work. The F-35B uses a unique lift fan system, which consists of a fan basically located behind the pilot that generates lift. Then we have a vectoring nozzle. The rear nozzle can vector thrust downward. I want to say right around 95 degree, allowing the aircraft to lift off vertically. So without front lift fan, it would have been the situation of the aircraft in persnickety. Um, it is a highly functional design, I think, and thrust to weight ratio. The F-35B's engines produces a highly thrust to weight ratio, enabling vectoral takeoff. Despite this massive engine power, it would be useless without the control provided by the swivel nozzle, because uh, it harnesses and focuses the thrust for the engine. The swivel nozzle is the most crucial component of the F-135 engine. So when the nozzle is oriented for conventional flight, 100% of its thrust is used for forward movement. However, when pointed vertically, nearly 50% of the thrust is used for stabilizing the aircraft. This system, giving an enormous flexibility, enable the aircraft operations from small ships, amphibious vessels, or um, or remote airfields, reduced infrastructure, basically no need for long runways or extensive support infrastructure, and enhanced survivability. The VTOL also allows the F-35B to operate from dispersed locations with reducing vulnerability. While this system has a clear benefit, so it also it is important to acknowledge some of its limitations. So let's discuss some of the negative aspects. Now, something has to give, right? Uh, the complexity of the VTOL systems adds a complexity requiring a sophisticated uh, controls and meticulous maintenance, and also the weight. This is a very important element, the weight. The lift fan system adds more weight, affecting overall aircraft performance. And the other element is heat management. The VTOL system operations generate high temperatures, which basically requires precise and specialized cooling systems involved. And the aircraft internal fuel storage requirements are simultaneously minimized by this system. And the F-35 also, I mean, uh, folks, I try to make everything short as possible. Otherwise, this video will probably be at least 3 to 4 hours. So let's talk about the other characteristics. The F-35 pilot's helmet. Each helmet costs, I think I've talked about this before, nearly $500,000 per helmet, um, for its complex design. And like I said, uh, I'm trying to keep everything short as possible, guys, because, like I said, it would make this video at least 4 hours. So there's a lot to talk about. Um, anyway, so let's talk about the regarding the aircraft payload. Um, all the F-35 variants typically stored their weapons internally for all intended purposes to reduce the radar cross section. which makes it difficult for enemy to detect. And how that works? Well, the weapon base, you know, weapon base like opens up very quickly, and the pilot basically deployed the weapon. And once the weapon ejected, the doors closed very quickly to regain the stealth profile. Um, so yeah, other countries operates this aircraft. Israel, also Denmark. I think I've mentioned those elements on my previous reviews. So now, also this aircraft, folks, as we've seen that lately, the F-35 also can carry weapons externally. Just despite just being focusing on the stealth characteristics. So we have. Uh, External weapons mounted under the wings, basically to increase its lethality and adaptability in different missions profiles. One of my own theories is I think the stealth aspect is a little overrated in recent years. So the idea is to maximize the firepower over the stealth element, but that's ultimately depends on the mission profile. And also, the F-35 can carry a wide variety of weapons externally, including the AIM-9X missiles, AIM-120 AMRAAMs missiles, and various air-to-ground missions like the AGM-158, the JASM cruise missile, and other type of missiles like the JDAM or Joint Direct Attack Munitions. And beyond that, also, this aircraft can carry a variety of laser guided bombs, which I think that's a great mix of firepower. Whew. Now, with all that overview in mind, let's dive into the specifics of the model. Finally, let's move on to discuss the nitty gritty details of the model. Well, the first thing I would say, guys, be aware that this model include a wide array of accessories, so please allow the ample time for installation and requires a patience and attention to detail. So, that being said, installing them all will take time and careful consideration, particularly if you want to display the aircraft in the beast mode. Secondly, this model, obviously made by Hobbymaster, 1/72nd scale, identified by model number is HA 4608. And this release was from sometime 5 years ago, I want to say. That being said, not quite sure the availability of this release, but the good news is that Hobbymaster consistently puts out releases of the Hobby F-35, excuse me. So let's start with the paint scheme. The accuracy of the gray, it's a very well done, and I think it's close to the actual article. This model can be configured for vertical takeoff and landing mode, open lift fan doors, and oriented exhaust nozzle, or forward flight mode. I must say, this is perhaps one of the most complicated models on the market today, since it has so many pieces to be, put together. And truth must be told, having modeled that almost have almost 40 to 50 pieces, if I'm not mistaken, um, putting them together, and honestly, Hobbymaster did a really good job. I'm not trying to exaggerate about it, uh, but none of the parts for me failed. So kudos for Hobbymaster for nailing down all those accessories, because as I've mentioned, it's such a complicated model. The cockpit details are fairly detailed. The ejection seat, this screen. I would love to see some colors adds on the touch screen, but I think it's good for what it is. The pilot figuring is generic. Hobbymaster. Also, would have been nice to see a special pilot configuration added with the F-35 because, as you all know, the F-35 pilots are totally different, particularly when it comes to the helmet. Unlike what we've seen, for example, with the F-16 pilot or F-15 and so on and so forth. Um, it seemed that the pilot figuring for Hobbymaster is something afterthought. The markings insignia are on point. The collision formation lights, the fuel receptacle doors are on point. This particular release comes with the two JDAMs and two AM120 AMRAMs. Which stored internally, and also it comes with the external gun pod. It also comes with the traditional Hobbymaster stand. This models offers a flexible display options to accommodate various configurations. This model is generally well done. Now, the $1 million question: which one would you rather pick, the A or the B or the C? Now, probably some of you saying, "Oh, because I'm an Air Force guy, I will recommend A," but conversely, no. I would say no on that. If you have to pick one of these three, I would say go with the Bravo variant because this model is an absolutely a beast. Or if you want to complete the picture of your collection, get all three variants, which is the Alpha, Charlie, Bravo. And this is, how you should display the F-35 Bravo model. Otherwise, it looks fairly similar to the Alpha. So I would highly recommend it. If you display the F-35B, try to display it on the VTOL mode. Don't be daunted by the numbers of accessories. Just put them, together. Take your time, and process can take about 20 minutes, if not more, depending on your hands' flexibility. Don't rush, and don't, make sure you don't force anything that might break. So yeah, this was my very first F-35 that landed in my collection. Guys, when this model was released, it was a big deal for me because I was so eager to get my hands on it. I'm glad I have all three in my collection. So uh, now, well, we're going to cover the last topic related to the engine nozzle upgrade. You may notice from the intro shot that I've modified the engine nozzle, particularly on the VTOL configuration. Although I was initially reluctant to upgrade the engine nozzle, the outcome was incredibly impressive. I mean, I'm speechless with the results. What a difference, right? Um, so I'm not trying to dislike the hobby master work. It didn't meant to sound pejorative and taking their accomplishment away from them. I mean, hobby master, they work hard to put the amount of details on those models. So the model is beautiful overall, but the engine nozzles aren't my favorite design element. The engine nozzles looks okay at certain point, but to me, they're kind of anemic and lifeless. Uh, that thing just puts me off a little bit. You guys can go back on the intro shot, pause the video. I think the result speaks for themselves, right? And for one, I'm glad that I've done this. And I also create this diorama base specifically for the F-35B. And that's how I display it in my collection. It's cool, right? So, also, guys, I would like to give you a brief background and share some elements with you about this project. To make a long story short, I ordered this sets of nozzle from vendor called Riskit. of course, in 1/72nd scale. So once I ordered them, it takes about a couple of weeks to arrive at my doorstep. And once I received the order, first impressions were I did have some uncertainty of tolerances because I'm not sure if they will be compatible with the model, right? They may share the same scale, but sometimes components have different tolerances, right? And that's not something unusual. So before doing any paint work, so I took the part out of their packaging, install it on the model, and luckily it works. So praise God for that. Next, I did a paint part. I did a paint job, which is task that necessitates a high degree of precision and carefulness. It really demands meticulous attention to detail. Also, before I did the paint work, I did a lot of research to develop my concept, and because it's a fifth generation fighter, pictures of this aircraft are readily available. And ultimately, the project came to fruition. Also, I had to adjust the ventral panels when they open around the nozzle. On the standard Hobbymaster configuration, they're kind of little more vertical, whereas in a real life, they should be sits in the more relaxed angle. Anyways, it wasn't a big deal for me. It was fairly easy. So overall, after seeing the results, I just can't get over it. Right now, this F-35B is in a real bee's knees. Yeah, so and also very first time for me doing this project on the F-35. Unlike the F-15 engine nozzles project, which I did modify quite few of them in my collection. With the F-35, it's fairly easy. As you all know, I don't have to do the of removing the assembly part since it's removable nozzle already, so the process was kind of easy for me. Unlike the F-15, I have to remove the both engine nozzles where things can get a bit messy, and obviously more time consuming, and I'm exploring the possibility of taking on other projects, specifically on the engine nozzles replacements on the various engine models. But we'll see how it pans out. The other thing is, folks, I did order other sets of nozzle, which comes in a short takeoff configuration. um, it is for this specific F-35. It's coming. It's on its way. So having those two upgrades on this particular model, I think that's a really powerful option. So once I get the nozzle, once I finish the project, doing the paint work, etc., um, next step, I will try to create a showcase video so you guys can see the results and enjoy them as usual. Incidentally, I was going to hold off on this review until I finished both, but I know some of you are very excited to see this review, and this is the reason I hold off on the second project. So, myself here, I am eager to see the outcomes on the second project, and we'll see how that panned out. Unfortunately, folks, I'm not able to show you every single step of the nozzle upgrade process in this video. It would just take too much time, and I put a lot of time and effort on this video review, and I hope it's worth it, and I hope you guys appreciate that. Okay, everyone, let's wrap things up. I think I've covered everything in the review. Hoping you guys enjoyed watching this episode. Don't forget to give that thumbs up, and if you like to help me to make more videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel and feel free to browse my channel for more videos. So come on, folks, let's smash that subscribe button. And at this juncture, I'm planning to release a new video every other week. Thanks for watching to this point, and catch you around.